Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Simplified, and today we are going to discuss about a new topic in Selenium, which is Selenium locators. Okay, so basically Selenium locators are the locators on the web page which allows the user to locate some web element. Okay, so whenever we are working with the test script of some web application, then there are multiple elements on the web page, so we need to locate those elements in order to work with them. Okay, so basically Selenium provides some sort of rule which allows the user to locate the elements on the web page. Okay, so let us see what are the Selenium locators. So the basic definition is locator is a command that tells Selenium which GUI element, say text box, button, checkbox, etc., it needs to operate on. So basically there are, like as I have told, that there are multiple elements, button, text box, checkbox, or images. So Selenium use these locator in order to locate those elements on the web page. Okay, and then we can work with them. Okay, so let us now see the different type of locators. So Selenium provides basically 8 types of locators. First one is ID, then there is a name, then there is class name, then there is a XPath, then CSS locator, then link text, then partial link text, and then tag name. So basically these are the 8 locators we are having. In these 8 locators, first 3 are known as direct locators. They are known as direct locators because we can directly locate these locators on the web page. So I'll show you why it is known as the direct locators and how we can locate them. Then there is this XPath and CSS. So basically these two are indirect locators. Basically there is no direct way through which we can locate these two, XPath and CSS. Basically we need to form those XPath and CSS locator. So we will see in our further tutorial that how we can locate any element using CSS and XPath. And then the link text and partial link text. So these two locators basically are used to locate the anchor tags on the web page. So we will also be seeing them. And then there is a tag name. So basically if you have read the HTML, then there are the multiple tags. With those tag names also we can locate the web element. Okay, so let us see one by one how these are defined on the web page. So I am on this Chrome and I am on this Facebook page, the login page, and then there are multiple elements in it. As you can see, there is a Facebook logo, then there is some text, and there are 2 input boxes. First one is for email address and then second one is for password, and there is one login button also, then forget an account. There is a link also, anchor link. So let me inspect it. So we need to open the inspector for it, the developers tool. So this is the developers tool. To open this, simply what you can do, let me close it once and then show you. So right click on the screen at any place and then click on this inspect. So it will open the developers tool. Now we need to locate the multiple elements. So there is this small sign which is the inspector. It is used to inspect the web element. If you click on it and if you move your cursor on the screen, then it will locate. You can, as you can see, like it is locating this particular logo, then this input box, then the password box. So it is locating. So if you click on one of them, then I have clicked on this email one. So it is an input tag basically because we need to provide the input in it, and then there are multiple attributes in it. So basically this is the tag name, the input is the tag name, and then there are multiple attribute, type, class, names, and for each attribute we are having some value. So if you can see, for the type it is text, then for name it is the email, then ID is also email. So basically these are the attributes and values of it, this particular tag. Now we need to understand about the locator. So first one is the ID. So if you can see, this is the ID here, and then ID is email. So basically it's not sure that the ID is unique, because in the dynamic web pages we are having the dynamic IDs. So these are getting changed frequently in the dynamic pages, but if you are working with some static pages, then you can use these IDs. But the good practice is to use the XPaths and CSS if the page is not static. Okay, like if it is a dynamic, then we need to use the XPath and CSS, but if the page is static, then you can also use it because these will never change. So let me show you how we can locate this ID on this web element through the code. So I am on this IntelliJ and I have simple project created, the Selenium test, and I have added this particular jar. Okay, so this is the project from our previous tutorial. So if you are new to this tutorial, then you need to understand how Selenium is installed and how we need to configure the Selenium in our project. So for that, I'll put a link in the description. You can refer that video for the detail of how we can configure the Selenium. So basically there is this main method. Okay, and in this particular main method there is I have set this property system.property of the Chrome driver. Okay, so this is the location of the Chrome driver in my system. Okay, and then now what we need to do is we need to locate the web element by the ID first. So let me do it. So for that, first of all, let me create a reference of web driver. Let me create it, web driver. This is the interface basically. So we can create a reference driver equals to new Chrome driver. So I'm just instantiating this Chrome driver okay, through this particular reference driver. And then now what I need to do is I need to go to the particular URL. So it is get, then the URL we need to give is the Facebook URL. Let me copy in here. So this is the URL, facebook.com login. So I have copied it with the HTTPS, and then in my code let me do the driver.get this particular URL. Okay, then first one we need to do with the ID. Okay, so for that let me do driver dot find element. So there is this particular function find element. Okay, so basically we will be discussing about these functions in detail, but for now you can imagine that this is the particular function which finds the element on the web page. Let me show you how we can do. So, and this takes one argument also, this by is basically a class, and we will see how this class will work. So driver dot find element, then by dot ID. So this time we are working with the ID. Let me give. So this is the static method ID. We need to provide the ID in here. So let me go to the inspector. Then let me give this particular ID. So our ID is email. Now, so what we have done is we have find this particular element on our web page with the ID email. Now there is one more method, send keys. So let me send some keys. Let me give A, B, C, D in the email, and then we will see how it works. So driver.find element by ID email, and then we are sending send keys is basically also a function. So it will just enter these particular character sequence in our input box. So simply it will do that. Let me run this particular program, and then we will see how this is working. Now it has opened this particular browser, the Chrome browser. Then it has moved to this facebook.com login page. So if you can see, it has entered ABCD in this particular input box automatically. So this is, as I've told, this is simply finding this particular input box through the ID email, okay, with the attribute value email, and then it is entering these particular keys. So it's simple, like it's very simple that we have understood the ID now. Now let us move to our another locator. Okay, first locator is the ID, then our second locator is name. So let me do the name also, name. Then if I move to Chrome again, then there is a name property also, this particular attribute, and there is a value email in it also. So let me now do with the name. So let me do with the password this time, because like firstly it will insert these keys into the email input. Now let me enter into the password. So for password also we are having the name pass. So let me do the driver.find element. Then we need to do this time by name. Okay, and then by name we can provide the pass in here, and the password, let's say password. Okay, and then let me run it again now with the name and password, with the ID and password. So what we expect is it should enter ABCD in the email input box and pass in the password in the password box. So it is running in here. Okay, so it has opened this particular Chrome browser. So it has moved to this login page of the Facebook, and it has entered the ABCD, and it has entered the password. Okay, so basically this is about the ID and name locator. Now let me close this particular browser, and in the same way, if we look on the inspect element, then in the same way there are multiple things, like as a third property is the class name. So this is basically a class name, but it is a bit dangerous locator to use the class, because multiple elements can share a same class. So this is the basically the class name, okay, for these particular two boxes. So let me do control F, and then it is. So if you can see, there are two locators for this particular class, the email input box and the password input box. So in the same way, like there are following some requirements for which we need to do the we can do with the class also, if it is the single locator, or if you want to get the multiple locator with the same class, then you can get through it. So it is a class name, and as we have done for the ID and name, in the same way we can also proceed with the class name. So let me copy paste this, and then by class name. So here is this particular static method, class name, and then we can pass this particular class name. So I'll not be running this particular code with the class name, but as I've told that if you want to locate some element by the class name, then this is the way you can do this. Okay, and now let us see our fourth locator, which is XPath. So this is a different topic. We will be covering XPath and CSS locator in the next tutorial. So basically XPath is a very useful locator, and it is used for the dynamic web application, and it is recommended that to use the XPath for the dynamic web pages, because on that dynamic web pages all the attributes are getting changed more frequently. So in this tutorial I'll be showing you how we can locate with the XPath, and then in the next tutorial we will be discussing in detail this XPath locator and then CSS locator. So for now let me show you. So basically this is the particular input box we are working on, these two boxes. So let me do one thing. Let me get the XPath. So we can get the XPath by simply right clicking on this particular element, this input tag, and then if you go to the copy, then there is a copy XPath. Okay, so you can click on the copy XPath, and XPath got copied in here. So let me do driver dot find element then by dot XPath. So this is also a static function in here, XPath, and then we can provide the XPath in here. So if you can see, it has provided the XPath. So our ID is email. So basically XPath, we can generate the XPath according to us. So basically we can generate this particular XPath. So as you can see, as we have previously discussed about this ID email, so it has provided the XPath of it. XPath is nothing but a path in the HTML. Okay, in this particular script, this is the particular path in this particular HTML script. So as we are working with the input, so it is showing this ID email in here, and then if we do dot send keys, let me enter some values now again. Let me enter PQRS. Okay, and for now let me comment this, then password is also fine, then find element, let me also comment this, and then we will see if XPath is working correctly or not. So let me run it again. So it has started the Chrome. So we have get to this Facebook login page. So if you can see, PQRS is entered in this email input box by using the XPath locator. Okay, so this is the simple thing, like we have used the XPath also, and as I've told that in the next tutorial we are going to discuss this XPath and CSS path in detail. So yeah, let me show you the CSS locator also, how we can work with the CSS locators. We can copy the CSS path by using this copy only on the Chrome, and then there is this copy selector. Okay, so let me do it for CSS also. Driver dot find element by, and then CSS selector, and then I have given the CSS selector hash email, it has copied it, and then let me do send keys, and let me give some other name. Let me do, so this is the same way as we have done for the XPath. We can also copy the CSS selector of this particular element on the web page, and then we can work with it. Okay, so basically we have covered ID, name, class name, XPath and CSS selector. Now let us look up at the link text and partial link text. So basically there is this particular link present here, forgotten account. Okay, so this, if you see, this is the anchor link, and then this particular link is linked with this particular text, forgotten account. So we can locate this particular link text using driver dot find element by dot link text. So if you see, there is this link text, and then in the link text we need to give the text for this particular link as forgotten account, and then let me click on it. So click is also a function which is used to click on some web element. Okay, so let me comment this XPath also. We can add this particular password, like it will be adding the password and then email. So as we are working with this particular forgotten account link, let me comment all of these. Okay, so I have commented all these, and then it will only click on the forgotten account. So let me run it again with the link text. So it has opened our Chrome browser, and now it is moved to this Facebook page, and we expect that it should click on this forgotten account link by using the link text. Okay, so if you see, like it has clicked on this forgotten account, and then it is asking me for the details. So this is how you can work with the link text locator. Okay, and then in the same way there is the partial link text also. So let me show you how we can work with it. Let me comment this. So this is our link text. Okay, and then there is the partial link text also. Okay, so how you can do this: driver dot find element by by partial link text. So basically partial link text is like, sometime it happens that we are having the multiple anchor text, and we want to locate through some partial text. So basically in this forgotten account, if we say that forgotten is a partial link text, if I provide this forgotten in here, and then if I say dot click, so it should be clicking on this partial link text also. So basically it is saying that sometimes it happens that we are having multiple anchor text and some part of it is common one. So let's say if we are like working with the user login, so user login, user sign up, and then there is a user forgot password. So there are multiple things. So in these particular links there is one user is common, so that way we can work with it. So in this we have provided entire link text forgotten account, and then in it I am simply writing the forgotten. So let us see if it will work. We run it. So it has started the Chrome now. So we have get to this Facebook login page, and then as you can see it has clicked on this forgotten account link by using the partial link text locator. So this is the simple locator, we can use it very efficiently. So let me comment it, and then our last locator, our 8th locator, is by tag name. So basically let us do one thing. We are having multiple input text. So with this particular locator, let us do driver dot find elements. Okay, so there is this particular method find elements. What we need to do is we are simply writing one case that in which we need to get all the input fields in this particular web page, and then get all the elements of the input, and then count how many inputs are present in here. So let me do find elements, then by our tag name. So tag name, let me give input because we want all the inputs, and then let me get it into a list. It will, the find elements will returns a list. So let me do a list in here. Then okay, so it will return a list of web elements. So let me do list, then list of web elements. Okay, web elements, then web element, let me give it a name, elements. Okay, and then it is getting this okay, so we have provided this particular web element in here, and then we have got all the elements in this elements. Now let me print out the number of input boxes on web page are basically we need to print the elements dot size. So basically this is the method of this list. If you are familiar with the Java, then it is a list, and then there is particular function size. It will get the size of this particular list. So let me run it and then see how it works. So let me close it and then see. So if you see, like there are 26 input tags on that particular page, so that's why it has printed the number of input boxes on the web pages are 26. So let me show you if I do input. Okay, so it is showing 29. So it is like somehow it is printing 26 things. Like there are multiple input boxes which are not visible on this particular screen, but there are these input tags, and it is showing 29 in here, but in our code it is printing at 26, whatever it is finding. Okay, so yeah, these are the basic locators, 8 locators: ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS selector, then link text, partial link text, and tag name. So in our next tutorial we will be discussing these two in details, because these two are very important whenever we are working with the dynamic web applications, the XPath and CSS selector. Okay, so yeah, if you guys are having any question related to the Selenium locators, then you can mention it in our comment section. So for now, thank you.